Hello everybody and welcome back to the Fortress of Solitude. Today we're going to be checking out One World Under Doom issue 6 by Ryan North, R.B. Silver, and David Curiel. Dr. Doom's empire begins to crumble as he faces his biggest threat yet, Mr. Fantastic, who has agreed to meet Doom on the set of a live talk show, telling Victor that the world does need to change, but maybe Doom won't let it since he's afraid he'll lose it all. Dr. Doom of course rattles off his usual propaganda to rile up the crowd, pointing out how Reed is being so manipulative while he has always been so truthful and direct. Still, he accepts Reed's stakes, wanting to raise them more since should Reed win their little debate, he will step down as Emperor. So this is a Marvel summer event, like a big Marvel event. You know, it's featuring Dr. Doom, who's going to be in the new Avengers movie this time next year. So it's, you know, kind of raising his profile even more than it already is. And here we have Dr. Doom debating Reed Richards on the set of Jerry Springer. This is so fucking awesome, and I love that Ryan North continues to keep making such interesting and oddly meta choices for these characters. Like this sort of stuff with Doom, you know, spouting propaganda about how he's right and the best for the job and everything is strangely similar to other politicians we've seen in the last couple of years. Reed begins with the big gun, laying out what Maria Hill told him obviously off page, which is that the blood hunt, the vampiric apocalypse that led into this event with Doom taking over as both Sorcerer Supreme and Emperor, could have actually been prevented by Victor, but instead he let the vampires kill thousands. Reed thinks that he's got him dead to rights, but Doom instead talks about how the English knew of Pearl Harbor before it happened during World War II, and Churchill was left with a choice: tell the Americans before Pearl Harbor happened and prolong the war, killing millions more, or let it happen and force the Americans to get involved in the war on Europe and in the Pacific and end it that much sooner. So this is a fucking great pull from real life history as well, as while it's never been proven, there are theories that Churchill did indeed know about Pearl Harbor before it happened and didn't tell the Americans. Of course, Doom would compare himself and his actions to one of the greatest men in history, and he admits that he knew the vampire attack would happen, but knew stopping it would also lead to greater deaths. Surprisingly, the people end up eating this up, cheering on Doom for his decision, something that troubles Reed greatly. This, however, is all part of a larger plan of Reed's though, since while he keeps Doom's attention elsewhere, heroes back outside Latveria work on getting into the nation and through his spells. And thanks to Maria Hill's shield intelligence, they are able to find the shield's weak spots, blast a hole in it just long enough to let Sue Storm, Black Widow, and Scarlet Witch sneak through, with their mission being to find out what really is going on inside Latveria. While I would have loved the entire issue to just be about Reed and Doom in that talk show and just kind of sitting down and, you know, going through each other's ideologies, I enjoy we are still getting the other side of the heroes, you know, having them play an important role in bringing Doom down. It's not just coming down to Reed himself, it's going to be a team effort. While the heroes sneak into Latveria, Doom tells Reed and the people watching them that Mr. Fantastic and all his costume friends could have easily saved the world countless times with their powers and wealth and technology, but they hoarded it all for themselves. Doom claims that if the heroes ruled the world, they would use it up and spit it out and venture forth into other parallel universes, leaving the people to clean up their messes and pick up the pieces of their shattered world. I really like how passionate and righteous Doom feels here, and he's like 100% right too. These heroes could have easily changed the world, and I like the examples he gives where like Giant Man, Hank Pym, or Scott Lang could have easily used his technology to cure hunger. He could have done it in hours or in an afternoon, as Doom says, but instead he uses it just to make himself big. Or how Iron Man could have used his arc reactor technology to bring clean energy to the entire world, but instead he uses it to power war suits. You know, so it's things that aren't without merit. They are definitely things where, you know, if the heroes did this, like what would happen? And I do like that there is that approach where the heroes know that had that happened, the people would depend on them, you know, wholeheartedly and completely, which is something you don't really want as a hero, because then people just act nonchalantly and, you know, get themselves into trouble because they know, oh, this guy's just going to come and save me. Then there's also the fact that the power could easily corrupt them as well somewhere down the line, and they could turn into someone like Dr. Doom. So I like that Ryan North is kind of exploring both sides, where it's like, both sides aren't technically wrong, but they're not technically right either. This is also something that Doom can't really seem to wrap his head around, since he never once sees himself as someone who is a dictator. He thinks he's actually doing the righteous thing in saving the world. He calls Reed the greatest disappointment of them all, claiming that Reed wants to keep the world the same as it is, since this is the world he got his powers in, while Doom could change things for the world and make it better, basically meaning the world would leave him behind. That's a great twisting of Reed's own words from the beginning of this issue, where he claimed Doom is afraid of changing the world since he would lose grip on it. And he is. We've seen that he is very much afraid of the world changing away from his favor. It's a dirty move that we've seen politicians and people in power use time and time again, where they just twist the opposition's words on themselves. As Reed continues to keep Doctor Doom busy, Sue, Scarlet Witch, and Black Widow walk unseen through Latveria thanks to Sue's invisibility and Wanda's magic. They find something is off, though, despite all of the happy people around them, and soon they learn these are actually real people. They are hard light holograms. Wanda and Sue clear out the holograms and reveal Latveria is deserted, and a giant facility looms over the entire city of Doomstar. So Doom's secrets are finally being exposed, and the way Ryan North is slowly peeling back the layers, not revealing it all at once, just building up the tension with Doom elsewhere, getting madder and madder, his attention taken away from Doomstat, and the heroes finally sneaking into the base. It's just so good, and the build-up has just been a wonderful experience, not just in this issue so far, but like all across all of the issues. We're finally getting that answer, and the axe is about to drop on Doom. Wanda tries to find any spells at work, however, she finds nothing hits back at her attacks, revealing to her that the spells on the city aren't actually meant to keep people locked out. They're actually meant to keep people locked in the city. She uses her own spells to carve through the defensive spells and allow them to access the giant facility at the center of town. Wanda cites how the time and power needed to build a total of 9 layers of magic is no small feat, even for a Sorcerer Supreme, and they would struggle greatly with it as well, and soon they find out how Doom did it all, as they find the giant building in the center of town is a prison, and every Latverian citizen, man, woman, and children have been captured in it, their life force being drained to fuel Doom's own life and magic. So there it is, Doctor Doom's big evil plan, and holy cow is it evil. It's a lot eviler than I thought it was going to be. He's literally feeding off his own people's life force like some sort of vampire, and it explains so much about how he, despite not having his magic, was able to actually go up against Dormammu and survive all his wounds. There was that moment in that issue where he was fighting Dormammu where his body was literally broken in two, more or less. All his limbs were kind of out of joint and his body was shattered, and he was able to pull himself together somehow, and now we know how. He was using the life force of his own fucking people to do it. Black Widow records the situation, asking Maria Hill to connect them with Reed so they can send him a live feed. Back in the studio, Reed interrupts Doom's continuing monologue to activate a hologram from his suit computer, showing the people what is really going on in Latveria. So this is just so satisfying, and North gives Doom just this kind of sniveling, almost cowardly lean where as soon as he realizes what's, on the displays and everything, he tries to shut it all down, tries to cover the cameras and everything so people can't see what he's doing. Reed accuses Doom of torturing his people, and Doom tries to play it off as all of these people are just merely volunteers, heroes and patriots of Latveria who are helping him, but Reed has got the receipts on him, showing people that there are young children being imprisoned and their life force taken from them, not just men and women, something that as a father angers Reed greatly. He gets right in Doom's face, telling him that he's sacrificing his own people at the altar of himself, and Doom grabs Reed, putting his hand over Reed's mouth and fully admitting to all of this, saying that he would sacrifice more if he had to in order to get what he needed. He uses his magic to begin to stretch and rip at Reed, telling him the bargain he's paying for the magic is more than fair as it leads to a peaceful, safe Earth. Reed, despite on the verge of death, has one simple question for Doom. If all of this was so justified and so righteous, then why was he hiding it all from everyone on Earth? This finally kind of breaks the seal for Doctor Doom, and he realizes not only are the people in the studio watching him in horror, but also the world is watching, because in his arrogant nature, his big ego couldn't let him just do this one-on-one with Reed. He had to have the world see it all, so now the world is completely exposed to Doctor Doom. The proverbial mask has come loose on Doctor Doom, and since he realizes they're watching, he quickly cuts the cameras, leaving the world in chaos as his motivations have been fully revealed. One World Under Doom issue 6 was a damn fine issue. I thoroughly enjoyed this, and I cannot believe that this is a big Marvel summer event. You've got characters just having talks with each other. There's no real big action in this issue apart from the characters getting into verbal conflicts, and that's what I love so much about this book and how Ryan North writes them. They're so compelling and so interesting. Doctor Doom is at his most arrogant this issue. I just love an arrogant arrogant, egotistical Doctor Doom who thinks he is so right. And in many cases, he actually is right, especially about the heroes and them, squandering their power that could easily do what he did and save the Earth. So I just love that we get to experience this, and this is like a mainstream comic. It's just so damn cool. I can't wait to see what Ryan has in store for us in the back half of this series. We get another issue next month, and I just hate that there's just such a long wait between issues. It feels like forever that we're getting through the back half of this story, and I don't know why they're delaying it or like making it stretch out as long as it is, but I just can't wait for the next issue. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10.